Hello everybody, today I'm going to show you this Clipsal 24-hour timer switch. Okay, so this is basically a timer switch that Clipsal make. So it's made by Clipsal and it's a timer. So what it allows you to do is it allows you to control a light or a fan automatically. Okay, so these are very common around Australia, you'll see them everywhere, but apparently they are slowly dying off because they're being replaced with ones you put in your circuit breaker box, and most of them they use are electronic nowadays. This is an analog one. Okay, and this is actually, if you look at the shape of it, it's actually one of the old Clipsal standard range. The standard range is no longer made. It was discontinued. Apparently they couldn't, for some reason, they didn't make this timer in the 2000 series. Okay, it would have been nice if they did, but apparently for some reason, they didn't. Okay, so there's actually two variants of this. One is a 24-hour, one's a 7-day. Okay, this is the 24-hour one. Okay, and these aren't cheap. This thing costs $220, this thing, so it wasn't cheap. Okay, well, probably because it's become so rare over time. It's probably why it's obviously gained value. Okay, so it is, you know, worth a bit. Okay, there is another version of this which actually has a power point on it, okay, that you can actually plug something into, okay, but this one here is just a light switch version, okay, but there is a power point version as well. So this one here is mounted vertically, but you can mount it horizontally, but you would need to rotate these switch mechanisms. So what you do is you pull them out, you turn them around, and then you can mount it horizontally, okay. So the way this thing works, it works like any other timer. You got your timer, your clock here, and it only turns clockwise. You can't turn it anti-clockwise. Apparently, timers don't work that way. This part here is where the switch is contained. Okay. Now there's these red and green things here. Green is when the appliance comes on, and red is when it turns off. Okay, so this timer controls this light that I have outside here. Okay, so it controls that light there. It's a Compton Mini Secure Line. Okay, I used to have a HPM one here controlling it, but that thing was noisy when it was ticking, and that was really driving me crazy. So I got this one, and this one's actually a lot quieter. Okay, now it did come with little covers that you can use to cover up the screw holes. Okay, I don't use those. Okay, the reason is because if I ever need to remove it, you know, I actually have to dig them out. They do fall out after a few years, and I'm assuming as if you're an electrician, you probably wouldn't. A lot of electricians probably don't use them. They probably just leave the screws exposed. Okay, on the 2000 series, you got a surround that hides the screws, but on the old standard series, you didn't. Okay, so all right, so you got your on-off switch and you got your manual auto switch. I'm busy. Okay, so all right, so the way it works is that when this is on, it will turn on, but you can turn this off. Okay, when I turn that off, the timer can still tick, but the light just won't come on when it flicks past the green. All right, I can turn that on, and now it will. Okay, now only this switch here has the indicator on it. Okay, so that lets you know that it's on. That's off. Okay, now this is 15 amp. It is rated for 15 amp, but we're only using it on 10. Okay, but you can use it because 15 amp you can use on 10 amp. Okay, 10 amp won't hurt it. Okay, you just can't use this on 20 amp. Okay, because it's not rated for that. Okay, and of course this is your manual auto switch. So if you want the light to stay on, I'll set it to manual. As you can see, the light comes on. Okay, so that's set to manual mode now. Okay, and that means when it's set to manual mode, the light will stay on until you turn it off or turn it back to auto. Okay, so if I set it back to auto, you can see the light's gone off. That's because it's actually not time for it to be on. It won't come on till about half past 8 or 7:30. And this is a 24-hour timer too. It would be nice if it was a 12-hour, but apparently it's not. Okay, so I do know that that when you go past 12, the 13 through to 24 is your PM, okay, and the 1 through to 12 is your AM. Okay, so that's 12 there, so that will be midday, and the 24 will be midnight. Okay, 12 PM and 12 AM. Okay, so I do know that 14 o'clock, okay, or 14 is 2 PM, 15 is 3 PM, 16 is you know what that is, 4 PM. So it just goes so on and so forth. Okay. So that's a pretty good timer made by Clipsal, and this cover here does come off, so you just undo that screw so you can set it. Okay, and you would need to do that for daylight savings time and everything, because now it is currently daylight savings time. It's summertime, but when daylight savings ends, I've got to turn this back an hour, but I can't turn it anti-clockwise. That means I would have to wind it all the way forward from 14 to 13. Okay. So that's how you do it. And apparently you can't turn it anti-clockwise. You can't. It can only go one way. Okay, and you can't force it, because if you force it, you will damage it, and you will also void your warranty. All right, so Clipsal do make these good timers. I think there is electronic versions of this available. Okay, I do know HPM have electronic versions. Okay, but I don't know if Clipsal do. There is also those. It's just a timer. All it does is turn the light on and off automatically. So that means I don't have to keep flicking the switch and all that. Okay, it's actually plugged in here, so if I turn this off, the timer's going to stop ticking because there's no power going to it. But if I leave it on, that's got to stay on all the time. So if I wanted to turn it off, I can just simply turn this off. Okay, so that way the timer will still go, and I don't have to turn the timer to the right time when I switch it back on. Okay, but I do leave this on. Okay, because we actually have the light set to turn on. Okay, so that's basically all it is. Okay, so it's basically just a timer switch, okay? And you got your auto and your manual mode, okay? And your on-off switch. Okay, well, usually when these are off, I usually see them both like that. They have it set to manual and off. Okay, but it's just, but you can just simply turn this off. You don't have to turn that. Okay, but it is good that you do have a bypass switch on it, as well as the ability to turn the light off without stopping the clock. Okay, so that is the Clipsal, I think it's TC timer switch. So I hope you enjoyed, and that'll be it.